back. I am excited about our next guest, and I'm talking none other than a powerful businessman in all of Central Florida, none other than Mr. John Crossman. That's right. He is the owner of a firm that has real estate all over the Southeast Florida, 22 million square feet. He's been in the Wall Street Journal, Money Magazine. He has foundations. He's also contributed so much to Bethune-Cookman College. He's worked with Florida A&M University. But the key is he is passionate about people coming together. And we wanted him to talk race right now on the Pam Powell Show. He is also the son of the late Reverend Ken Crossman, who did so much for this community. Welcome to the Pam Powell Show, Mr. John Crossman.
I'm honored.
All right, we're just so excited about having you. And we also wanted to take a look from another perspective, outside of the African-American perspective, about race in America. What are your thoughts about racism? Does racism exist in America today?
Well, it does, but the conversation is changing, if I could talk about that a little.
Yeah, let's talk.
I'll tell you what's really, I think you might find interesting. I talk a lot to business leaders, CEOs, and I ask the question, do you know racist people, or do you see racism? And 100%, 90%, 100% will say, I don't know any racist. Like,
really?
Interesting. Now, I'll meet other people that will tell me, oh, there's a lot of racists in this country. And then I'll say to them, well, name them. Like, who specifically?
Okay.
And I have trouble naming them, those sort of concepts. So what's the truth in that? And I think the truth is, I think that we're better than we've ever been as a nation, where we have more and more people that are enlightened, that want diversity, that are open, and yet we still have institutions of racism that are still in control. Does that make sense?
Of course, I understand.
So I think the dialogue change needs to stop being personal, like, well, you're racist, or you're that kind of talk, to more there's situational or institutional racism, which we can work together and address those and make it better for everybody. I've worked with 30 universities across the country, from USC, UCLA, all the way over to Wharton, to Florida State, and UCF, and lots of great students. But if I had you come with me, and you were with me as we visited all these schools, and I said, let's go back to just one. There's one school that there's a gap between how their students perform when I meet with them than all of those other prestigious schools. And that school is Florida A&M.
Wow.
The students are exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
That's good news. But what's the bad news is, I meet so many people that don't know that. They're not aware of that. And so I meet companies that they tell me they want diversity, they're seeking diversity, but they're not recruiting at FAMU, and then they're not recruiting at Bethune-Cookman, which is also another great school, because they're not aware of them. So that's really the divide. It's not as much I see it racist, like people saying, well, I'm not going to recruit those schools. It's that they're not aware of it. So that's one of my goals, is to make sure that the business community, the business owners, particularly in Central Florida, when you're thinking about hiring students, go after these historically black colleges, because there's tremendous talent there. And one last just quick opening thought on that is that sometimes people just talk about diversity. Here's what I always tell people: diversity. Diversity never lowers the bar. Diversity widens the net. And so if you want the most exceptional, best business students, you got to go find them.
Of course.
Some will come easy, but other ones you need to go find them. And if you're looking for great students, FAMU, Bethune-Cookman has some of the best I've ever seen.
As an African-American woman who really cares about my people,
Right.
who really cares about our country and
Right.
everyone in general, because I love people.
Right.
From your perspective, I want to get this last question, and I want you to answer it, because on the Pam Powell Show, we like to keep it 100.
I like it.
All right?
Sure.
Looking at other cultures, looking at the Caucasian culture,
Right.
and how some of them begin to still look at African Americans as second-class citizens. Not all, but some.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to look into the camera, John, and I want you to just talk as if you were having a meeting with people of your culture, and give them a 1-minute speech on how we can come together to embrace all races. Would you do that?
Sure. I would say this. We are all tied together in one community. We are all one family, and we rise and fall together. If any segment of our community is disenfranchised, is having problems, it affects all of us. If you are a devout environmentalist, you should care about parts of your community that are suffering, because it's bad for the environment. If you're a devout capitalist, you should care because it's bad for the economy. If you're a person of faith, you should care because your faith calls you to do that. And if we all work on it together, we're all going to rise up together. We have no ability as a successful people to sit and watch TV or look at the internet and complain or post random comments or rants. What we can do is take positive steps to help out and make an impact. And when we do, we make a better world for all of us.
Well, you heard it right here on the Pam Powell Show from a businessman. And I'm talking about someone who's really involved, not someone who's just talking, but who's really involved in wanting to make a difference in the African American community. We thank you so much, John, for being on the Pam Powell Show. I look forward to getting with you on future activities, and we look forward to making a difference and impacting our nation in terms of racism in America to more positive things.